All right, let's go. Let's take a look at the video. Sorry about that, guys. Warcraft from a new perspective. This is it. Early versions of WoW, the game files contained a map of Hellfire Peninsula. The map is known as Old Outland, and the zone was scrapped before the Burning Crusade came out. Although it is vastly different from what we got, you can still spot a few similarities that came out. That's obviously the Dark Portal, the biggest one right there. This version of Dark Portal is the same size as the one on the Azeroth side. Look how fucking big it is, dude. This actually is a lot like the Hellfire Citadel that came out. There's the trees. There's the trees right there. Those are the little catapults and shit that they had there in Hellfire Citadel too. They never used those weird fucking, like skin trees or whatever. With like the spikes on them, the claws. Look at that, dude. It's so big too. I don't know if it's, oh wow. Oh, it is big, holy shit. Yeah, I don't think they ever used these. Yeah, it might be a little bit too loud. Let me turn it down. Okay, there we go, it should be better. Hellfire Peninsula. Yeah, it's just hard for me to say. This is incredible. Oh, wait, what the fuck is that? It's almost like a piranha plant or something. Oh, dude, the Plaguelands? Really? I thought they didn't use those specifically in the Plaguelands. Maybe I'm wrong. Looks like Western Plaguelands. Yeah, kind of. I can see why they changed it. Oh, that's the Horde area. Look at this shit, dude. Imagine if they added this shit back into vanilla WoW. In the same way. Well, there's little shit on the wall, too. Damn, this place is really big. Recolored in Zangar? I don't think so. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it's about the same. Oh, is it still too loud? There we go. Okay, that should be fine. Read the comments on the RIP video. I don't want to get like negative about that, you know. Was eventually use it for like assets in 1.13. Yeah, they could. Yeah, look at this. Perfect after Nax content. I mean, if they did anything, this is kind of what people would want to see. Damn, this place is really big. The Ruined Alliance Keep may be the first version of what later became Honor Hold. God damn. This is really nice. Okay. Is Hellfire Peninsula, not Citadel? That's what I meant to say. Check out the Eastern Stone Talon Mountains. Well, right now I'm looking at this. Okay, so these are like just the same areas that they've had before, unfortunately. Let's see. This could be an early version of Thrall. Oh yeah, this is the Horde Town from Hellfire Peninsula. I guess. It actually reminds me a lot of it. They haven't changed. I mean, they did change a lot, but I could see that it was kind of the same intent. And there's like the giant hold that you were supposed to go into and talk to that weird fucking guy with the wolf head. We're using the 3 same cane bottles. Hey, you don't mess with success, right? Look at this. There's one that destroyed. Oh, they use this place in Terakar Forest. They had this exact same building back there too. Don't ever disrespect Nazgro. Yeah, Hand of the War Chief. Yeah, what a dumb bitch. Oh. Oh, these are where the broken guys are supposed to be at. I'm assuming, like the like a comma in all of them. Okay, now it's going on. Yeah, I don't know about that. Gnome has your haircut. I guess he does. Okay, use it in Hellfire Peninsula as well. Yeah, check out the Emerald Dream glitch. Okay, well, let me look at this first. What the fuck? Oh, wow. Some, like, fucking weird spire thing. Okay. That's cool. Pools of Agmar can be found in this version as well. However, the remains are much smaller here. Oh! Yeah, this is the pit lord that was there. Okay. Alright, that makes sense. Of course that's gonna be. Of course he's gonna be there. Why would he not be there? Oh, wow. Wait, they changed that. I don't think that's how he looks on live. He doesn't have any, there's like no skin on him or anything. God damn, dude. This place is really big. I didn't even realize this. I thought it was much smaller. It was like just like maybe a small, like little, you know, like half of Elwyn Forest or something. This is massive. I already want to play this more than Nashtar. I think that's because you know too much more about Nashtar. Like, I'm not surprised that you feel that way. Like, I think the areas in the game now are too small and too condensed. They need to space things out and make them a lot bigger and, like, spread out. And that's what I think they need to do. Kind of like Stormsong Valley, but more so. Stormsong Valley is a good start. Okay. Oh, wow. Oh, that's probably where the Crystal Giants were gonna be at. Dude, this place is fucking huge. A bit outside the main area, a cut-off piece of land with some ruins and a silhouetted cave can be found. Oh. Oh. And that's that's the same shit that was in ZA. Or ZF. And it's also just in Tanaris. God damn. Looks like Tanaris map. Yeah, exactly. It's basically like Tanaris, but it's Outland. I can see why they scrapped this, though. I can. Wow. Holy shit, just like a gamer developer area, it's not a zone? Well, of course it was supposed to be a zone. I mean, they were obviously developing Outland. This was the first draft of Outland that just didn't happen. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. That's a lot. Holy shit, boys. That is a lot. Yeah, this is a massive zone, man. Holy fuck. This is like way bigger than any other zone in the game, I'm pretty sure. This is BFA. Yeah, bigger than BFA, exactly. It's really small, actually. I don't think so. I can see why. I can see why they changed it, though. Like, let's be honest here. So here's why I think they changed it personally. Is because a lot of these areas are kind of very derivative of things that we've already kind of seen in the game. You know, like we've seen a lot of these areas in the Western Plaguelands and in the Plaguelands in general. You know, like these areas, just like random caves. This reminds you a lot of like, you know, Netherguard Keep kind of to a certain extent. And, you know, like what they actually did come out with for Outland was much more unique in my mind than what we're seeing right here. Outside of like obviously the asset placements. And it's very clear also with like the this area here. This is basically just Tanaris, but it's red instead of brown. I mean, that's really all there is to it. Seems like it was hard to fit mobs in there, so they smoothed it over, made it a lot better. Well, here's what it was rehashed kind of. Here's what I think they should do. Like, whenever people see areas like this and they feel like, oh my god, this is such a really cool place, what I like about this area and what you want to think about with this area is that most of the space in here is a completely open space. Like, there's not really a whole lot going on there. It's just completely open spaces that you're able to just kind of do whatever the fuck you want in. And I think that's one of the things that a lot of people missed about, like, WoW back in the day, is that not every single little square foot of the game had to have 8 different usages for, 3 different quests. There were just areas in the game where you could just go and explore, and they were just there for you to go and explore. And that's all there is to it. And I do wish that they had that. They use a human for scale whenever making zones. Yeah, I guess that's kind of what makes sense. Keep in mind, this is actually in development since the start of vanilla. Well, one way or another, I mean, like, I just really like seeing stuff like this. And I think it also does, it's very telling of, like, why players, I think there's a certain beauty of having things that are more spread out and they're not as, what's really the word for this? Not defined. They're not as, like, kept together, and, like, people aren't taking them as seriously, right? And they're not just, like, overdeveloped. I think overdeveloped is probably the best way to look at it. They're overdeveloped. And, yeah, they're compact, condensed, clustered, congested. That's definitely a good word. Dense, compartmentalized, maybe a little bit. Spoon-fed? No, not spoon-fed. I think we're kind of just getting into, like, random criticisms of the game. But in general, I think that, yeah, the way that they did Vanilla WoW, and if you go and you look at, like, the map in Vanilla WoW, for example, and you look at right here, Twilight Grove, there's really nothing going on in most of the areas here. There's not really a lot going on here. Elwynn Forest, yeah, there's a few points of interest and everything like that, but it doesn't have, like, the same compact nature where every single different place has 3 different purposes. And I think that's something that BFA really kind of did way too much of. And I think also you can compare that to Legion too. You look at, like, High Mountain or like Stormheim. Each part of those areas have 3 different caves underneath them, and the zones are extremely compact. What I would like to see them do more. Look at Tanaris. Okay, we'll look at Tanaris. Yeah, there's basically fucking nothing there. You know why there's nothing there? Because it's a goddamn desert. Look at Ungoro Crater. It's a crater. There's dinosaurs in here. And I wish that Blizzard would make more zones and make them less condensed. And they would just, like, instead of add in an expansion with, like, maybe 3, like, hyper condensed zones with a bunch of content inside of them, make 5 or 6 zones with a lot less content in each one of them, so people can explore and just kind of go through them and just experience them in a normal way, right? That's what I would kind of like to see much more of. Smaller zones is better? I don't think so. I like the larger, more spaced out zones, like something like Mulgore, where you're just kind of adventuring and you're exploring. And I think that's something that the game's really kind of missed out on recently, and it definitely shows. You should check the new vanilla zones with the guy. No, I know that there's plenty of other ones too, but this is the one that we're looking at here. Desolus is a good example of how not to compact and actually spread things out properly. Yeah, Desolus is great. Like Outland was. Yeah, Outland was a very good example too. A lot of the zones in Outland were very, very spread out and sparse. I think that after Wrath of the Lich King, because even you can look at something like Grizzly Hills, for example, or Howling Fjord, right? The other starting zone with, like, the Vicryl in them. In Howling Fjord, there are huge parts of the zone that have no real purpose. You know what I mean? There's no real purpose in them. They just exist to create the ambience of being part and being in the Fjord. And I think that's great. And I wish that they did more of that, honestly. It's something that I think that they're really just missing out on. Yeah, so Boring Tundra? Well, Boring Tundra was another good example. Yeah, Boring Tundra, there's tons of shit there too. But, like, if I look at a lot of these zones, right, even in, like, what is this here? Like, over here in Ashara, there's not really a whole lot going on over here. But the zones exist, and they're things that you can explore and be part of. And I think that really makes it special. Yeah, that's basically it. I love the Borean Tundra. The bigger, the better. Well, yeah, I mean, I think so in a lot of ways. And it gives people more things to explore. And especially whenever you put things like this in the game that are, like, kind of these far-off secrets, people really like them. Like, some of the most hype things that we've done were, like, getting the Hive Mind Mount and, like, the Lucid Nightmare and shit. I remember those streams very well because they were memorable and really fun to do. And I think Blizzard should try to integrate more of that into the actual base game rather than trying to make it optional, like kind of secret content, because I feel like that kind of makes things, it like compartmentalizes it in a way that players don't really get a chance to really experience it in the same way that I think that they should. Watch Exploration, a movie, adds mystery to WoW. Yeah, there's a certain amount of mystery to it, and you feel like you're also part of like a world. Because if you go out and like you're just driving around, you know, especially if you're not in like a city or something, you'll go through different areas and there'll be wide open spaces. And in current WoW, it doesn't feel like you're in a wide open space. You know, you think about being in a medieval world, you're going to see farms and wide open fields and stuff, and you never see that in the game anymore. And I think that just all of these like little tiny things do diminish the amount of like escapism and immersion that people get into the game. Because this is something I've talked about a lot before, is that a lot of people do RP in the game, but they RP at different levels. You know, they kind of look at themselves and like their character as a fantasized or romanticized version of themselves that they're kind of playing. You know, you see like girls that are like, you know, they will make their character look similar to themselves, but obviously the character's probably going to be a lot hotter, right? And it's like, look at me, right? I mean, my character, like my hairstyle, I have the most hair. You know, I have all the hair. And so it's not like that you're not going on there and you're pretending to be somebody else, but you're playing like a more, I guess, like romanticized version of yourself. And it's almost like the adventures that you do in the game are kind of, it's like a duality in a way. And I feel like a lot of people RP that way, even without knowing it. Why do I think this? Because that's what immersion is. Immersion is thinking that you're in it. And I think the more things that Blizzard has done that make the game more of a game and less of an experience, they've diminished that feeling. What about guys playing girl characters? Those are weird boys. And as I said before, I think every guy, or not every guy, but a lot of guys that play girl characters just want to know what it would be like to be a girl and be experienced and treated like a girl. And I'm okay with that. But I think that's what it is. No, I'm serious. I don't care. Delusional weird boys. Delusional fucking in denial weird boys. Yeah, I think that's what it is. And I don't have a problem with that. But I think that there's a lot of these weird boys that try to, you know, I'm not saying they're gay or anything either, you know? Not like, you know, transsexual or anything weird like that. They're just weird boys. And that's all there is to it. So fucking true. Yeah, I mean, get triggered all you want, but I'm telling the fucking truth. Play orc female because it's the only thing. No, dude, it's like, oh, well, we played them for the animations. While you have your fucking Draenei female that's wearing next to no clothes with her transmog, and her name is Ashley XO. Fuck you, dude. You're not doing it for the goddamn animations. And it's like, oh, well, I don't want to look at a guy's ass all day. I don't look at my character's ass ever. Like, I literally never look at my character's ass, period. Like, who the fuck goes around looking at their character's ass? Like, who plays like this? Nobody plays like that. It's just a bunch of weird boy rationalizations for people that want to pretend to be a girl. And that's fine. That's what MMOs do. And you know what? There are so many people out there doing that. I think it just proves my point even more to the fact that there are so many people out there that want to have an immersive experience. And whenever you create the zones that are basically like a theme park, it removes that immersion that players get out of it. And I think they need to do a better job with that. That's what I've got to fucking say.